Every time I go back out into Butte Inlet and just on the water, it's almost like a coming home. And it's really special to actually be back out there. My name is Cheyenne Trenholm. I'm from Homalco First Nation, and I'm the Assistant GM for Homalco Wildlife and Cultural Tours.
I'm JP Obadge. I am the Tourism Development Officer. We are a community-owned tour company by Homalco First Nation that provides visitors from around the world with spectacular nature, wildlife, and Indigenous cultural experiences.
So as a guest visiting Homalco Wildlife and Cultural Tours, you get a greeting with the Homalco language. It's regenerating our language as well and our ability to speak it. And while on tour, you would see lots of wildlife. That'd be whales, marine mammals, marine birds, even bears foraging for seafood on the coastlines. You have stories and histories being shared of the area, and all that are interpreted by our guides.
Homalco comes from the word Homalco, which means people of the rapids. Our people come from the rapids between Campbell River, going into the island, all the way into Butte Inlet.
The world has lost its way in terms of how it interacts with nature. That Indigenous knowledge and ancestral history is something that the world needs in order to right itself again.
The significance of New Church House is the fact that it is the last village site of the Homalco First Nation.
We're on the lookout point here at Old Oak, also known as Church House. We're looking across the way there to our older village, which is called Boschkan.
We use cedar for various different things living out in Butte Inlet. It is known as the Tree of Life to the Homalco First Nation people. I love showing people our culture, the wildlife out here, talking about the different history, the different stories of how people grew up in Church House.
My grandfather grew up in Church House and was taken away at a young age to residential school. And so when I go back to Church House, there's a connection to the land that I can feel.
Bringing people back here, it gives us our culture back, and we can show them exactly what we have here to offer.
When people experience our tours, it's more than just a tour, and I tell that to people often. First Nations are stewards of their land. People come back with more than just seeing a whale or more than just seeing a grizzly bear. While those are wonderful, brilliant things to see and experience, you're more inclined to want to protect those species and also protect the culture that is alive and well here.
We've worked really, really hard over the last 5 to 6 years to turn the business into a successful business that is now driving some new opportunities to help the nation grow and thrive.
I think it's also spawned a lot of connection to our culture and our history. It's quite an amazing thing that's kind of come about in our community.
We do a lot of work in language and cultural revitalization and employment and career, developing that within the membership, as well as environmental protection and regeneration. Every one of our tours includes some sort of a conservation fee. So all of those form the pillars for which we base our success in the business on.
The people that you get to meet, they're coming from all over the world to experience Homalco. I hope that people bring back with them more understanding of First Nations and a greater respect for the environment of which we live in as well, and how we can work with the land and not against it, and then just sharing human stories and connecting that way.